Hi everybody, welcome back. So this is the second part of the video. Now, if you've not seen the first video, please go and watch that for context, okay? But I'm going to try to explain. So there was a young lady who came online with a clip of herself talking about how she's embracing being a cutie patootie, okay? And it started a whole conversation and the ladies were giving their own takes on it, So that is in the previous video. Now, the men decided to insert themselves in the conversation, and this is what they had to say.
So the girls started a conversation about being a cutie versus a baddie and accepting that they're a cutie and not a baddie. And for the fellas, I want to make sure that y'all understand the difference so y'all know what y'all getting into between picking a cutie versus picking a baddie. And I don't want to just talk about the basic things like looks. Like everybody can define the looks aspect, right? But there's a certain aspect of aura that a baddie versus a cutie carry, right? A cutie is who you wake up to in the morning, man. Like you wake up to a cutie ready to start your day because she's the light of your world. You just know that the fact that she's in your life is a blessing, right? But a baddie, a baddie is who you go to bed thinking about. A baddie is the one who you start thinking about, damn, I gotta make it rich. I gotta make a meal. Because you know you gotta upkeep this baddie. A cutie is someone you like, I wanna make a home with her. I wanna build a home for her. I wanna be able to do everything I can for her. A baddie, you wanna serve a baddie. You wanna be able to be the man that when she asks and she has a need, you take care of those needs. They're both the same, but both very different in the same way. Now you ask me, yo, what team are you on? You team cutie or team baddie? I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Cuties in my heart, baddies is in my mind, bro. So I can't really pick one, but you do with that information what you will.
The reason we like cutie patooties over baddies is because baddies just doing things for male validation. Everything they do is for male validation. They post photos for male validation. They go to the club and dress like, certain types of ways for male validation. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I do shit for female validation. I don't care. But the reason we prefer a cutie patootie is because they're getting validated without even trying. It just comes natural to them. You feel me? It just comes natural because they're just in their feminine energy. They're not trying to be anything that they're not, and they still beautiful. That's why we prefer cutie patooties over quote unquote baddies. Baddies is like, that's a headache, bro. We don't want no baddies.
For the most part, most of the women that I saw in the comments, I don't know if it's changed now, were all like, yeah, I'm a cutie. There's so many photographs. Yeah, but the rest of the women were like, absolutely not. This was not about you. How did this become a baddie versus cutie competition type of thing? Because so many men are now coming out and being like, oh, this is why we don't like baddies and this is why we don't like baddies and so on and so forth. They've just taken the whole conversation to a whole different level. But thank God there's so many women who realized what they were doing and they had a lot to say about their videos. The whole thing was never about competing for a man and who is better and who is not. Let's get into it.
So the girls started a conversation about being a cutie versus a baddie.
This is not a conversation for men. This is a conversation for the girls. But of course, a man had to chime in and share his unfiltered thoughts. Of course, his thoughts were trying to pit a cutie patootie versus a baddie against one another. It was trying to share his perspective on why the differences between them, when that wasn't what this conversation was about. Once again, you just missed the mark. Some conversations are not for men. Some men do not need to chime in. You can just appreciate a trend and not feel as though you need to participate in it. This one wasn't for you.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get out of character. I am calm now. But I really don't like this whole cutie patootie versus bad bitch trend that's happening. It actually enrages me to a point where my skin feels like it's festering and I might combust from the rage that I feel in my heart. Because only reason that the men are coming back around to this whole cutie patootie trend, the only reason the men are descending off the bad bitch hill that they were willing to die on is because the bad bitches ran y'all dry like a rag on the side of the tub. You done gained a few pounds and your hair lighting's receding, and all of a sudden you want to build a house and a home with a girl who's just the cute, modest, plain Jane girl who never really was too good at makeup, didn't really want to wear the skimpy clothes, and all of a sudden you want to come back over here, have a family, calm down. No, this is no shade to the bad bitches. Y'all did what y'all needed to do. Y'all got yours. Y'all got the fighter that you did it right. And I've been trying to be you for a long time. So there's no shade, no hate from me on that end. But the men is the problem. Now that you've racked up enough debt to file chapter 7 on, chasing after that bad bitch that you knew you couldn't afford, you need to sit your ass up in that empty ass penthouse that she left you unfurnished. That's what you need to do. Don't come back over here trying to be with the sweet, kind, modest, plain Jane girl. this is not, oh, the grass was actually greener on the side I was already on. No, the grass is greener where you water it. So you couldn't rack up a bag for the bad bitch. Now you want to come back, bring your broke ass back over here to the Cutie Patooties. No, sir. Take your neck beard and your second chin and go back over there to your empty ass penthouse.
Conversation about being a cutie versus a baddie and accepting that they're a cutie and not a baddie. And
to the guys, the bros, I gotta tell you how to choose a cutie, how to choose a baddie over a cutie, cause the baddie is the one you go to bed thinking about. No, you ass dummy. No. Males ruin everything because they think about themselves. Not only do they think about themselves, but they're only thinking about their dicks. This whole cutie versus baddie conversation is all about men thinking about their dicks. There is no cutie versus baddie, okay? Women finding out that they are cuties and not baddies and putting themselves in a specific category and placating to their strengths is not a fucking competition for you ass niggas over your dick, okay? We don't give a how we look in your mind. The baddie or the cutie, neither one of them is in your bed. Because this isn't a fucking competition. And those two women are probably cackling while you're alone. The males make everything about their dicks and then in turn ruin everything. Like our childhoods.
And another thing, women talking about cutie patooties versus baddies. It was a cute little trend. I thought we were all on an understanding that this was about aesthetics, looks, the way that you present physically, not in a bad way. Like, everybody has different aesthetics. We're two categories, baddie, cutie, just women saying, I face the fact that I'm a cutie patootie and I'm not a baddie. Physically all the time, and that's not a bad thing. It was never negative. It was never meant to be negative, and it didn't get negative until men decided to start talking about it. And I'm not just blaming men, I'm blaming some of you bitches too, because y'all like to fall every time a man open his mouth. Y'all fall into the trap. Men making videos about the girls talking about, and I prefer the cuties, the baddies. Dude made a video talking about baddies, they good to hang out with, they good to be your friends, but a cutie, that's in my heart. And all you bitches under the comments dropping your pictures talking about, I'm a cutie. You disgust me. Because one, it was never about personality. And I've been seeing men try to make it about personality. These are not personality categories. What? And two, I honestly don't even want to give them that much credit to say that they talking about personalities. I want to just say that men are basing the way that they treat and like women off of their looks, because we know that they do that. The dude talking about, I like the cuties, the natural hair. I don't the bust down men, coming black men, we don't really like the bust downs. Shut up. Nobody asks. Nobody actually gives actually. And you bitches in the comments agreeing. Sick. I wish some of you hoes had a sense of self, a sense of individuality outside of a man, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Most of the time when men join this, no, actually, every single time a man joins a conversation among women that ain't got shit to do with him, you got them dumb dizzy bitches that bandwagon, the pick-me's in the comments like, girl, he don't want you. I promise you he don't. He gonna do you dirty just like he gonna do every other bitch dirty. These niggas don't care if you a cutie patootie or a baddie, they still ain't shit. I feel we've lost the plot. Oh.
So the girl started a conversation about being a cutie versus a baddie and accepting that they're a cutie and not a...
Yo, see, what's wild? You started the conversation off with, so the girls. You must be one of the girls, right? You must be one of them bad bitches, right? Why do y'all actually insert yourself in conversations that you ain't even a part of? Why is it every time a woman opens up her mouth to speak to another woman, you guys have to insert yourself unnecessarily? You gave an unnecessary opinion that none of us asked for. It's just like, it's just like how y'all shamed us for years for twerking and then y'all start dorking. Or how we have the song, She Was a Fairy, and y'all made She Was a Stupid Bitch. We can't have nothing. We're literally competing to be bad bitches with y'all. We are literally competing to be the baddest bitch. And I shouldn't have to compete. Because conversations that you're not supposed to be in, you shouldn't be trying to insert yourself in. No one gives a f what you think about cuties versus baddies. Because it was a girl conversation. And what's wild is like you're not responding to anybody who's telling you inserted yourself where you weren't supposed to. But then y'all be like, oh yeah, women nowadays are too masculine, because who gonna be the man? Y'all will sit up here and try to insert yourself into a bad bitch conversation and then get mad when we say, oh yeah, who gonna be the man? And I'd be damned if I compete with a man to be a bad bitch. I'd be damned if I compete with a man to be a baddie, a cutie, any of that shit. You got it, hands down, baby. I'll get you a lace front and some lashes real quick. But I'd be damned if I compete with you. Because that's what it is. It is literally competition at this point. Any conversation that a woman can have concerning another woman, there is always a male around to insert himself unnecessarily into the conversation, giving an unwanted opinion. And that's exactly what the hell you did. Nobody asked you about our conversation because it was a conversation that we were having, not that you were having. We didn't say how to spot a handsome man versus a gremlin. Give your opinion on that shit like that. When we're having conversations that are solely amongst the goyles, amongst the women, that's what it's supposed to be. You're literally the example of who gonna be the man. Literally. Who's going to be the man? Because when you insert yourself in a woman-based, a girl-based conversation, you're trying to be one of us. And that's weird. And that's wild. And you see nothing wrong with it. And you wonder why women act as masculine as they do. Because we have to compete with men who want to be bad bitches so bad, and bad bitches in bad bitch conversations.
I'm so sick and tired of these conversations that only result in black women being pent against each other. First, it was gym girl versus the BBL girls. Now y'all talking about cutie versus baddie. Like, shut the f up. Sick of it. And it's like, we allow everybody except for black women comment on what it is to be a beautiful black woman. Like, why do y'all even give a f at this point? Then you got bitches in the comment section arguing, oh, I'm a cutie, or I'm a baddie, or I'm both. Like, who cares? Whatever you are in your mind is what you are. And I personally feel like every woman, but specifically black women, have the ability to be cute and bad. It all depends on your hairstyle and your mother's style. You just got to find what works for you. But let's stop this dumbass conversation versus cutie versus baddie, or gym girl versus BBL girls. Who care? Love who the fuck you are, and stop allowing these men to pin us against each other at this mother point. Because I'm sick of in conversations. Like, I hate a man with an opinion. I hate a man with a stupid opinion at that.
The baddie versus cutie patootie discourse is really pissing me off, because it was cute. It was cute when the first girl did it. It was like, oh, I'm a cutie patootie, I'm not a baddie. That was cute. But then the men got involved and they made it a whole, the baddie is the girl that you fantasize over. The cutie patootie is the girl that you marry. And the pygmies are in the comments like, yes, I'm a cutie patootie. Girl, he just called you ugly. He's literally saying you're ugly. Now it's about the black girls that don't meet American beauty standards. That's what it's about. The cutie patootie is just the girl that does not meet the regular standards of society that the baddies are, you know, exceeding above and beyond. And so it's like, okay, I know I'm not ugly, but I'm not doing all of that, is what it started off as. And now it's like, nah, that's the one you marry. Marry the girl with low self-esteem. And I hate that for y'all. I hate that y'all are in the comments like, yes, cutie patootie under these men's comments, because that's not it.
It was never about men. The conversation was never about men, or who gets the most man, and who men take seriously, and who men liken. It was never about men. It was about women. talking about how they present themselves to the world and coming to a realization that there's no need for all of that. They just have to be themselves. And that was the message, all right? And you decided to bring a competition, a triangulation in, why you make life with a cutie patootie. Oh my God. Every single day. Every single day, unprovoked, these men will come online and expose themselves. But you can't talk about it because when you do, you're trying to divide men and women. I'm not trying to divide anybody. I'm just pointing out what I'm hearing. Okay? And I'm not the only one. There's so many other women who saw through the BS. Whatever he was doing there was not supporting any woman but himself. Was not advocating for any woman but himself. And he's telling the other men to do the same as him. Get a cutie. They are the ones you put in the house and then cheat on them with a baddie. Okay, let a baddie stay in your head. The baddies are just playthings. They are just for, pleasure, while the cuties are the ones you make a home with. And I don't know why he thinks it's okay for him to say that. Both women are being used. That's what I'm saying. Both women are being used. You think one of them has an upper hand, or whether it's the baddie or the cutie, you are using both women and you are letting the whole world know that you're a user. You use women every single day. You make it about yourself. Oh my God, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. A part of me is happy that they are showing themselves, but still, it's like, it's draining. It's draining every single day. You could have talked about why you like cuties and, just kept it pushing. But you had to make it about this versus that and why this is better than this and why that is better than that or not better than. Yeah. So all I'm saying is open your eyes because there was a lot of women in the comment section with their pictures, with their, am I a cutie? Am I a cutie? Men in the comments, some of them, the creators themselves telling them, yeah, I think you're a cute. I'm like, what? You're auditioning, babe. You're auditioning. There's no need for it. Do you want him? Is that the kind of man you want? And if that's the kind of man you want, that's all I'm going to say. But for the most part, these type of men, they don't care about anybody else but themselves. Okay? Just a few weeks ago, there was this guy who was talking about how he's going to stop dating his type because they make him spend all his money, and how the way he described his type, it was a baddie. And so for the most part, most of these men will end up with their supposed cuties, because they don't have it like that. Until they have it like that and they can go after the women that they truly want, who are the baddies. That's why the baddies will stay in their mind. They want to show themselves for the baddies, but they don't mind using the cutie to build that for the baddie, and they don't necessarily want the baddie too. They just want a piece of the baddie. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're just users. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here. You leave your own thoughts and opinions in the comments, and I'll see you again in another video. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.